Alright, so the last few weeks we've been doing some recording up at Mixmasters studio with two groups, the Bearded Gypsy Band and Conchillia. Tom Barnes has been in on both doing engineering and some producing. This is the bass I used for both recordings. It's a custom shop Fender 66 J bass relic with flat wounds on it. This is the bass cave. It's just an ISO booth off the main room. On the Bearded Gypsy Band recording, I was using an Ampeg Classic running into a 4x10, also Ampeg. On the Conchillia recording, I was using this Ampeg SVT3 Pro, and that was running into the Aguilar single 12 speaker that's there. That has a tweeter in it. It's set to about halfway. Tom Barnes is going to have a chat about the mics and what we used. I'll also be doing a write-up on my blog, which is on my website, and that'll be about just what went down, what preamps we used, and a bit of fun. So yeah.
Okay, so this is a breakdown of the miking setup that we used for recording Conchillia's EP. So we've got a wonderful DW drum kit sitting in the middle of a really nice big room, and inside of the kick drum in the hole we had an Audix D6, which I think is my new favourite close kick mic. It's yeah, it might be taking the place of the Heil PR30, which is cool because I like him on other things as well. And then the kick out mic is a Neumann FET 47. So the D6 gets most of the attack of the drum, and the FET 47 gets sort of supporting woof, supporting low frequencies. So yeah, lots of the snap coming off of the front mic and lots of the thud coming off of the distance mic. Then around this side of the drum kit, in sort of snare land, had a AKG 414 EB, one of the old school silver guys, sort of pointing at the top of the snare. And I started with him sort of much flatter and closer to the shell, but he just sort of seemed to sound much better kind of raised up like that, which was a cool thing. So that was the snare close mic. And then underneath the kit, underneath the snare, there's a DX77 ribbon microphone. And he kind of actually, I mean, he's sitting with the ribbon facing where the beater hits the kick drum, and with the ribbon sort of mainly off axis to the snare wires. And he gets heaps of kick and snare, but mainly, I mean, he's actually sort of really sort of getting almost all of the kit sound. Like, you pull that sound up, that and an overhead together can pretty much be an entire drum sound. But yeah, I sort of put him there always, sort of just because I really like that sound and I know I can go to that sound if I need it. And then on the toms, we had Josephson E22s, which are basically just God's gift to tom mics, really. They're just wonderful. Yeah, and they seem to work really well, like sort of positioned right over the lip, not pointing at the center of the drum, which is kind of odd, but they work really well that way. Yeah, and so that's what we had on all the toms. And then the overhead microphones were a pair of Neumann U48s. Yeah, slightly extravagant. Way to go. Yeah, cool. So that was sort of Drumland. Oh, well, the one other thing for Drumland is, so there were Coles 4038s in these two corners of the room, and they're basically just getting most of the room tone for the drums. Yeah. We can have a quick squeeze at piano. Might be a bit dark, but there is a Royer SF24V stuck in the piano, and that's a stereo Blumline ribbon mic. So it's sort of half of him pointing at the treble side of the soundboard and half of him pointing at the bass side of the soundboard. And I'm really into using Blumline stereo setups on piano because distance miking just makes the whole piano like way too large and it becomes impossible to fit in a mix. And then if you want to fold it into mono, then the sound just kind of eats itself. So my sort of new favorite thing for pianos is kind of staying with a Blumline setup, just so I know if I need to make the piano small, I can fold it into the middle and the sound isn't going to phase and eat itself. So yeah, that was the pretty simple piano setup. And yeah, over here we sort of had vocal land. So all of Jesse's parts were done with a A440, which is a wonderful, wonderful microphone for female vocals. It's just fantastic. You can get sort of a really nice proximity effect on this microphone. So yeah, it can sort of give a female vocal sort of just lots of nice sort of low-end smoke, I suppose, that you probably won't get on a condenser microphone. Yeah, so that was girl vocals, and then next to that we had another Neumann U47, and that did a bulk of the male vocals, and I think that was probably about it for this room. Yeah. So, bassland. We had a Avalon U5 DI for the bass, and he got, which the signal got passed through to the bass cabinets, and we had a Heil PR30 just sitting real close up on the bass cabinet, and that worked a treat. So like on any given track, it'll be either the cabinet or the DI or a blend of the two. Yeah, which gives us a few options for sort of different bass tones. And yeah, then we had in this booth, I think, well, we had one microphone in this booth the whole weekend actually, and it was an R92, and at the moment it's sitting on a guitar cabinet that we use to send the ukulele through. So we've got clean ukulele sound, and then we've got sort of strange augmented amplified ukulele sound. But at the beginning of the session, when we were recording the whole band together, we had a trombone in here, and I used the R92 on the trombone for the live bed tracks as well. And yeah, very, very versatile microphone, the R92. Kind of my favourite for guitar cabinets. I sort of try to get out of a rut of using the same thing every time, but it's rare that I actually settle on something other than an R92. For most cabinet jobs, I sort of feel like they are the king. Yeah, so that's what we had going on in here. And then we also had R92s sitting on the cabinet of the Rhodes. So there's another couple of those spaceship looking microphones over there. And then over here in ukulele land, we were using the brand spanking new AA. Oh, I've forgotten what the model number is, but it's called a Nuvo. And this is a fantastic microphone for acoustic instruments. I had a really good time with that pointed at a ukulele this weekend, and I had a really good time with that microphone on a fiddle a few weekends ago in pretty much the same spot. Yeah.
So that's the breakdown of the recording over the last few weeks. Both the Bearded Gypsy Band and Conchillia recordings were very similar in their setups. But if you do want to read up some more, jump on the blog. There's an individual one for the Bearded Gypsy Band and Conchillia. And at the same time, if you want to check out the bands, they'll be launching these records pretty soon. So thanks for stopping by, and yeah, check it out.